the concept of oneness, which God had in mind from the Garden of Eden, should constantly be there. But then come back to what was it? Yes, it makes the pain, it brings in that element of hatred. Yeah. There's a tendency to think that he didn't do enough for the world to know that it is us. He made it seem he is the only one. It is he who put up the house, he who bought this, he who did that, he who did that.
You begin to think, what did he tell his parents?
What did he tell
his family
Precisely.
for them to treat me this way?
Precisely, you know. Yeah. But I think that, again, we need to understand this support element, and we need to stand by our wives. So that at all times, our friends...
We're talking about when the man is not there, you know, so standing by...
Well, that is before
those who are alive now.
Okay. Right. To those, I like that. To those who are alive now, we need to do this so that when we are not there, we can short-circuit that tendency.
Yeah. Amma, I know this is a thorny issue for you, what I'm going to say, but I just want you to bear in mind, I know you do a lot of advocacy work and encouragement. I want you to bear in mind, somebody out there you are consoling. I know that you went through a lot of accusation. I know that you were accused of so many things. How did you take it in your stride? How did that affect you?
Well, it's unpleasant, but life must go on. And I looked, you know, when you're going through a difficult situation, you should do a lot of self-talk, and you should look at the pros and the cons. One thing that has helped me is the way God guided me in the years before the sudden death. You mentioned that I'm a distributor of Forever Living products. I was very reluctant to start this thing. It took me 4 months to decide. And then when I took it up, I didn't even do it seriously in the beginning. But about a year before he passed, there was some urgency. Take this thing up and do it. So I was just moving with it. And I gave myself a target and told myself, I have to reach this level by this time. You know, I reached that level, and 2 days after he passed. So when I remember those things,
God was preparing
me for something. So you can't even start mourning over things that you don't find pleasant. You rather want to thank God. Another thing I'd like to share, and this should go out to even young people who are not married yet. In 1974, so that is like 35 years ago, right? Yes. A lady came to my school to teach. And, well, she reminded me after my husband died. I just remembered that, oh, she cooked all these lovely meals, and I would go and eat. She would call me to come and eat. Actually, what happened, she said what happened was, I would go to her, and I would say, do you have some work to do? Let me help you. So whatever she had to do, I would do it for her. Then she would cook, and then we would eat. I did those things without even thinking of any reward. So when he died, this woman came, and she said, I'm here for you. I'm going to be your support. She's a senior lecturer. And she lay on the floor with me. She wouldn't even sleep on a bed.
I know you want to say thank you to her on this program. You can mention her name and say thank you, don't worry.
Mrs. Akosia Pebi of the history department. She has been such a tower of strength, even up till now. And with the widowhood rights.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you go through it?
No, I did not. I took a stand. I'm a believer. I've been a Christian. I mean, we married as Christians, and we've been through it all this time. We have Christian widowhood rights. So that is what I went through. The Reverend Dr. Debe and some of his ministers took me through the Christian widowhood rights with explaining things to me, how I was to conduct myself from now on, from then on. And friends and loved ones were there. We sang hymns, they prayed for us, they gave me some scriptures, and they let my children come and stand around me, and then they prayed for all of us. And that was it. I think.
Would you say that because of your refusal to go through the traditional widowhood right also contributed to all the nasty things and accusations that?
Well, you really can't say. I mean, you can't say.
People say whatever they want to say.
I think so. I think so. But the most important thing is let God be true and let all men be liars. God is a righteous judge.
You're watching The Standpoint. We'll take another short break. When we come back, we'll find out how to put yourself together. And then moving on without the man, without feeling guilty that, because sometimes also for, there's that guilt that, you're moving on without the man and all that. That's happening. Even when you lose your parent, it's as if you're not mourning them enough. You're not showing enough sorrow and all that. Welcome back to The Standpoint. Reverend, with these widowhood rights and things that they make them go through, is it really necessary?
Well, I think that every society has its beliefs, and our society has its very strong beliefs. The widowhood rights is one of them. And as you said, since you'll be doing a more detailed program on what it involves, I wouldn't go into that much. But I think it's noteworthy to say that over time, with education, enlightenment, and all of that, people are moving from the very strong things that they used to do.
It's worrying me. Really nothing.
And also for your personal efforts.
Right.
It's very good for you to include your children, whatever you do. Some of the children may even encourage you more.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you can still move forward.
So it's a time to
It's
get
a time
the
for
children
include,
closer.
so that they know actually what is going on daily.
Yeah.
And one may be your husband, even among the children, to comfort you.
Because if you're not careful, that is when the children may go wayward too.
Yes.
Because they're dealing with their personal pain.
Yes.
And if you don't concentrate on them, they seek for the
The
attention
different
elsewhere.
and
Yeah.
brings you problems.
I
That's
think
one thing.
The thing is that you share, where there are children, you are sharing the pain and helping each other to heal and being a support to one another, rather than having each deal with his or her pain individually, which is not helpful.
Auntie Grace, the society and sometimes the in-laws and relatives who tend to, worsen the pain of widows. What have you got to say to them?
My advice to them is, it might be your daughter, might be your sister, or your family that will fall into my issues. Yeah. So I'm advising them not to go forward or to do such a thing to whoever is in a certain situation. It's all about getting together or getting closer to the widow, sit down with her, listen to the widow. Maybe she has something else to tell you, the family, so that you all put your heads together. And if there's young ones in it, you care for them. So it's very good that we all have a good relationship with our families or the married family, whoever, so that whenever it happens, one will not carry all the bitterness.
Right.
That's what it was.
Osafo.
Well, I would say to all of us that this is something we need to deal with. Let us be there for our sisters, our mothers. They could well be our daughters. We wouldn't want them to go through that. So let us move away from that cultural belief that, well, she has to do this, she must be made to go through this, adding pain to pain. That doesn't help. Let us move away from it. And I'd say to those who lose their loved ones that, yes, it may be a big blow, but you have one who loves you more, who is God. And he definitely has promised that he will be your husband and he will be a father to your children and he will provide for you. It's the provision aspect that moves me a lot, because I have never seen, the scripture says, have you ever seen a bird that has to go and farm or take care of itself? No, but God takes care of it every single day. How much more those